Hi, friends. If you're new here, hello, my name is Sheila. Today's video is going to be me sharing with you all my 1 year update of living in Myrtle Beach. In all honesty, we're at the end of August, which technically I've been here way over a year. I hit my year mark in March, but of course, I'm just now getting a chance to get this video put together. I have my trusted notes here that I will be referring back to. I'm also having a little bit of lemon and honey as I am still fighting a respiratory situation in hopes that I'm going to be able to chat with you all without going into a coughing hack. It feels so good on my throat. Of course, I'm wearing my readers that are from Amazon, and my PJs are from Old Navy. It's a little matching set, very, very comfortable. It's the first time that I'm wearing them. I'm looking outside of my window and I see that it's raining. Another stormy day here in Myrtle Beach. That may be one of the cons that I have for living here. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications and please give this video a thumbs up. I really would appreciate your support. Myrtle Beach, 1 year later. Many of you, if you're watching me for the first time, may have questions like, what on earth made you leave Texas and come to Myrtle Beach? I ended up here in Myrtle Beach because my husband has a job that brought him here to Myrtle Beach. We spent about 2.5 years commuting back and forth. He lived in a small 1-bedroom apartment. I sold our house and moved into a 2-bedroom apartment in San Antonio. For about 2.5 years, we did the travel back and forth thing. I'd mostly come for the holidays. I'd come sometimes in the summertime. And then that day came where we had to make the decision financially and just relationship wise as well, that we needed to be in one place. I am originally from Virginia. And I have a brother that lives in our home that I grew up in Virginia. And I have a sister that lives in Charlotte. Having both of them so close to the Myrtle Beach area made it easier for me to make the decision to come to Myrtle Beach. I would not only be here with my husband, but I would also be closer to my sister and my brother. My sister lost her husband in 2020. And my brother, who is the oldest of the three of us, has had some health issues. So I did look at this as an opportunity to do good all the way around. Like I said, I moved here in March of 2024. We packed up the apartment, put my car on a lift, put my furniture in a U-Haul, and we drove from Texas to Myrtle Beach. I did vlog that experience, so I do encourage you to go back and take a look at some of those videos. It was definitely an experience, to put it lightly. Everyone always talk about first impressions of everything. It's a difference when you come to a place and you know that you're not going to just be here for the week, that you're going to be here for a bit. When I share my first experience, it's my first experience as knowing that I am going to be living in Myrtle Beach, the ocean, the beach. It's beautiful. It's everything most people dream it would be. What a fun thing to say, I live by the beach. So my first impression, I loved it. I loved the ocean. I loved the boardwalk. Whenever I'd come and visit, that was one of the things that I always wanted to do, was go hang out on the boardwalk. Knowing that I was going to be living here, that was one of my favorite things still yet to do, was go down by the beach, take a long walk on the boardwalk, and people watch, people watch, people watch. People are so fascinating. You see people from all across the world. Some of them, you can tell that they're like a fish out of water. And then some of them just look like they fit right in. Coming from San Antonio, a very brown city in the summertime. Although the last time I went to San Antonio was actually quite green, and I enjoyed seeing the city look so green. When I got here in April, even though we hadn't started to brown up quite as much in San Antonio yet, but just seeing all the tall trees and the green grass, that was something that really brought my heart joy. I guess the next thing that I would say I noticed right away, or that it was a first impression, if you will, the live music. San Antonio don't have anything on the live music scene here. I am a big fan of live music, but I will be honest with you, Living here with it all the time, it can be a little bit overwhelming at times. I think Myrtle Beach just has so much live music. And then when you pair it with the fact that you can be in 4 different states in the time that it would take you just to drive from one city to another in San Antonio. So you have this range of places to go for concerts. So everything seems like it's like at your fingertips. We were 2.5 years pretty much living apart. We traveled back and forth, but we didn't see each other on a daily basis for 2.5 years. What was that like? In their honeymoon stage, we had not spent time together in so long. My husband was taking me around the city. He was showing me all the pretty things in the city, taking me to the stores. I mean, he even went shopping with me. So there were a lot of times that we just spent being together, which was nice. I will say, of course, I had spent time alone. He had spent time alone. So there were definitely some adjustment periods. I'd say our honeymoon phase lasted for about 4 or 5 months. And then we started to get on each other's nerves. We were in a 1-bedroom apartment during that time. And I found myself sometimes just wanting to have just a space away from everybody. In all honesty, I do have to say that I feel that the time apart did our relationship good. And that's one of those things that everybody's relationship is going to weigh on its own, and everybody's circumstance can be quite different. But for me, coming back off of breast cancer, from the pandemic to so many things that had happened in my life over, I would say, honestly, over probably about the last 5 years, I really needed that time. I needed that time to just sit with myself, get to know myself in a different way. In many ways, I needed the time to just be me, because I had spent a lot of time pleasing and making everybody else happy. And I think just being in my own space, it allowed me just to report to myself, just to be accountable to myself, which in turn forced me to really learn the person that I had become. Not only had I survived the pandemic, I had survived breast cancer, but now I was heading into my senior years. I was no longer that 20 something, 30 something, or 40 something year old woman. I was headed into a new season of life, and I needed to figure out just where I fit in that new season of life. What was it like making friends here? That was a challenge for me, to be perfectly honest. You know, the saying goes, the older you get, the harder it is to make friends. We, as people, tend to fall into our categories, we fall into our groups, and the older we get set in our ways. And sometimes it is hard to find that person that you can click with, that you can do things and have fun with. And I must say, I was mourning my old friends a lot. While I was excited to come here and try this new life and see what this new life had to offer, I also had never envisioned in my wildest dreams of ever leaving San Antonio. San Antonio was my home. It was the place that I wanted to be. And I really, truly had no desire to leave. Friends that I had made there, I never ever envisioned not seeing them on a daily basis, not being able to go to TJ Maxx or do the little fun things that we did. So it was a little difficult for me making friends here. My husband worked in a sales driven job. Therefore, he works with lots of people. There are a lot of people coming and going. And I met some wonderful people through his job. I didn't feel like I fit in. I always felt that we were in 2 different worlds. Anybody out there that's in a sales driven world, in their own class, like they're their own group of people. I enjoyed meeting so many of them. I would often find myself thinking, okay, but will we really hang out? I slowly but surely start to meet some of you all. In that, I have definitely gained a very good friendship base here. My coworkers. I started to work after being here not even a whole month. I think I started my job about 3 weeks after moving here, which that did help because I work with some really nice people. That gave me a friendship base at work. Being here 3 weeks, it was nice to go to work and have people to talk to. Cost of living. San Antonio versus Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is much more expensive than San Antonio, which I would not have ever guessed it. I always just thought San Antonio, because it's such a big city, that San Antonio would be quite expensive. But living by a beach is very expensive. Very expensive. For my 2-bedroom apartment that I had in San Antonio, I paid basically $400 a month less for the 2-bedroom that I had there versus the 2-bedroom that I have now. This is a beautiful apartment, but it's an older building. There's nothing really fancy about it. I have a gorgeous view of the backyard, and I love that. I call it my backyard because it backs up to trees. Many of you have probably seen my patio when I'm sitting out there. I have a screened in patio. That's my oasis. I absolutely love it. But for the money that I pay to live here, if I had to be honest, I would say it's really not worth it. It's overpriced. The pay isn't enough to compensate for the rent. Mostly all the employers pay you every week, which I get paid every week, and I'd never gotten paid every week before. So my question was, why do we get paid every week? It has something to do with the state of South Carolina, because the pay is so low that most people cannot make it on getting paid every 2 weeks. I never got paid every week. Whenever Thursday would roll around, I would be like, oh yeah, it's payday. Oh, okay. Which was nice. It was nice not to be longing for that payday, knowing that you still had another week before you were going to get paid. Would I recommend Myrtle Beach as a place to live? There's a part of me that would say yes, and there's a part of me that would say no. But I'm basing it on what I feel within myself. It has nothing to do with anything other than I'm going on my true emotion. I think if you are retired and if you're coming from up north, this is a great place to come. The weather's beautiful. You're not shoveling snow, although we did get snow last year. But coming from up north and you're looking for a warmer climate and you want to be by the beach, and you probably were able to sell your home or will be able to sell your home up north and make plenty of money on that sale to afford you a fairly decent place here, I would say you could probably be happy, especially if you're retiring and this is where you want to spend your latter years. I think along with maybe your retirement, your social security, like I said, the sale of your home, you could probably have a decent living here. I personally would not want to trade what I had in Texas for what I have here. I think living in a beach town when the season closes, which is when so many people come alive, like the people that live here, and this is something that I find very interesting. People that are native, that have lived here practically all their lives, they don't like living in a beach town. They don't like sharing their community with all the visitors that come into the city. They complain the entire summer about all the people that are coming to their city. But without those people that are coming to their city, they wouldn't have a city, because the city can't withstand itself just surviving off of the people that are here. Nothing to bring in money. The stores wouldn't survive. There are many places that shut down for the season, or shall I say the non-season, that only open up during the summer months, which for me, I want a city to live the entire year. I want to be able to do all the things that I would do in June, that I would do in December, that I would do in May, that I would do in October. There's a restaurant that I love to eat at, but it shuts down in September and it won't open up again until the end of May, I believe is when it opens up. Those are things that will want me not to retire here. Like that would make me not want to make this area my home. I want to be in a city that I can live year round and have all the things I want to all year round. The medical system is not like the medical system here at all. I am fortunate enough to have a very good insurance through my husband's work, and I'm very blessed to have that. But the doctors, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with how long it takes to get certain appointments. And I don't feel that the knowledge is there. I don't think there's enough doctors and nurses and medical facilities to accommodate all the people, or shall I say all the illnesses, all the things that go on. That is something that you really need to think about before you decide to make this place your home. A lot of people travel to Charleston for certain medical appointments. Full thoughts of Myrtle Beach. It's a beautiful city. I love being here. It's not a place I have a desire to retire in. I think the cost of living is too high. The medical system isn't the greatest. The weather is tricky. Right now, I'm looking out the window. Like I said, if I had to say today, based on the weather that I've been experiencing, too much rain. Most of the time, the weather is beautiful. I got to experience snow here, which it never snows here. So that was nice. And for the people that are from up north, they hated the snow, but I love the snow because I'm from Texas and we don't get snow there very often. So, it's all relative, right? I can sit here and say all about all my pros and my cons and what I like and what I don't like. And I can say that today and turn around tomorrow and feel totally different because based on that experience that I'm having at that moment, I say I love live music. I love the fact that there's live music here, but would live music be something to force me to stay here? Absolutely not. I don't love live music that much. I can take it or leave it. Is it nice to have it? Absolutely. I love sitting at a restaurant and looking at a band. I was out Friday night until my feet were sore, meeting new people and having a blast. But at the same time, I can also do other things to have just as much fun. I can go to a zoo. I can go to the park. Those are things that I like to do just as much, if not more, than spending my time with live music. As I close out this video, listen at that rain. Wow, it's really coming down. I don't know if I really spoke about the people here in a city that so many people come from all walks of life to retire. You do have such a great opportunity to meet so many different people. And that I do love. I love because I'm a people person. I love meeting people, getting to know them, finding out what makes them tick. Love hearing stories about why a person chose to move here, or why a person bought the house where they bought it, or whatever. Like, there's so many people that have so many reasons for the things that they do because they moved from wherever they moved to be here in a beach town for whatever reason that they moved here. If you are thinking about making a move, whether you are in your early years and you're moving with your family, or especially if you are in your senior years and you're making that choice of a place that you want to call home, a place that you want to retire, do all the research you possibly can for that place. Visit it at various times of the year. Get to know people that have lived in the city. Ask questions. We have so much at our fingertips now. The internet offers us so much. Go on YouTube even. Make sure that whatever move you decide to make, you've done enough research to know that that move is the best move for you. And even then, sometimes once you've done all of the research and you feel like you know all the things, sometimes you can get to a place and find out it's just not my home. As for right now, I am calling Myrtle Beach my home for at least the next 2 years. And I do feel very blessed to be in this beautiful city and in sharing my experience with you all. If you made it this far and you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so now. Turn on your notifications. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you are a returning subscriber, you already know the love I feel for you. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.